When running your long runs, I mean like 2 to 4 hours doing half marathon or marathon races or even ultras, you will feel like no matter how much you prepare the night before, you will feel like you need to replenish and get some more energy during that run. There are many options out there to get that energy replenished and get you back up to the level that you need to be to perform at your best. So today, I'm going to go over several of those options. We're going to do a little taste testing. Oh, I hope I picked some good flavors. And just talk a little bit about the benefit of energy gels, chomps, candies, whatever you want to call them, that restore your energy when you're running your long runs. So let's go through these, see what we got, and see if any of these would be great for you to try on your next training run. Stick around, you don't want to miss it. Hey, welcome to Temple Running with MJ Smith. I am MJ Smith, and I'm so excited that you are with us today on Temple Running, where we are here to help you to enhance your temple, which is your mind and body, through your souls. Today, we're going to talk about energy gels, chomps, beans, candy, whatever you want to call them, that are our energy sources for us when we are running on long runs. It doesn't matter what you eat before, how much you carb load, how much you prepare. When you are running, your energy storage will get depleted at some point if you're running long enough. And you need to be able to restore those on the go with something that is not going to irritate your stomach, not going to have you stopping every 5 minutes at the bathroom, and not going to just make it where you cannot complete your run as comfortable as possible. So today we're going to talk about some of the do's or don'ts when it comes to energy gels, what they are for, and go through some samples of some. And as I said in the intro, I'm going to do a little taste testing for us. Luckily, I'm not going on a race right after this because you will hear me say several times in this video, as if you have been here before, you've heard me say before, nothing new on race day, nothing new. So if you decide to try any of these, they need to be incorporated into your training. And the more you train with them, the better your stomach will react to them when you get out there. So let's go ahead and dive into this and see what we got. Hey there. So as I was editing this video, I just realized that this video is way longer than a video should be. And so I want to break it into 2 parts so that I can give you all the info when it comes to your energy sources for running. So the first part, I'm going to talk about why we use energy sources and give you tips on how to use them correctly. On the second part, we're going to go through the actual gels that I taste tested and the ones that I compare. So we're going to go through the comparison and the taste testing on the second part. So if you're enjoying this, please make sure you check out the second video. I had to break it up, but they both have very good information if you're interested in this topic. So be sure to check it out. Thank you. So as I said before, energy gels are basically concentrated energy. I call them sugar balls because they are concentrated energy that can help you to replenish your energy once your storage is depleted. Our main sources of energy when we are running are carbohydrates and fats. But fats take a little longer to break down and turn into energy. So you're really relying on those carbs to keep you in the game, keep you energetic, keep your energy to the level where you can perform at your best. And that is what energy gels, chomps, and beans and all of those great things do for you. They give you back some of that stuff while you're on the go. So you don't have to sit down and have a bowl of oatmeal or have a banana or have, some peanut butter crackers in the morning. You can actually do it without the side effects of having food on your stomach if you do these the correct way. And that's by, as I said, training with them so you know what your tummy and what your body likes, what works best for you. But energy gels are basically like concentrated energy drinks. So you don't want to take them without water. You need the water to dilute it and basically give it the same effect that you have with energy drinks. You can risk dehydration if you don't take water with it. And I didn't say have Gatorade with it. That will actually double up your dose if you take Gatorade with it. And that can actually have an adverse effect for you as well if you get too much of these energy ingredients at one time. And your body just needs water to digest these carbs that you're putting into your body. So if you're running anything under about an hour, you probably won't need any energy gels at all. Most of them tell you to take it right before and then maybe every 45 minutes as you're running. But if you're only running 15 more minutes after you take that goo, you probably don't need the goo. So I say rule of thumb, if you're running under about an hour and 15 minutes, you probably don't need to take any of these energy sources. Just ensure that when you start your run, you have a good source of energy already stored from doing the right things the night before, eating the right things the morning before. So I have a whole video on what to eat before, during, and after a race, so you can check that out. If you fuel correctly, then you shouldn't need any of these additional supplements while you're running. When it comes to the gels, they all might function slightly different. So it's always good to read the instructions or the suggestions from the manufacturer for the gel. They're usually right on the package. Some of them don't have it right on the package, I discovered, but we'll talk about that later. And in those cases, I would go by that rule of thumb I talked about, 5 minutes before and then every 45 minutes into your run would be probably a good rule of thumb for indications for taking energy gels. So as I said before, you want to take these with pure water, not with Gatorade, because Gatorade has some of these same ingredients in them. Like I said, this is basically like a concentrated energy drink. So you don't want to take it with Gatorade or any other form of energy drink. You want to take them with pure water. Just because you get a certain amount of time, like I believe each of these packets will give you about 45 minutes of running. It doesn't mean if you take 2, you get 90 minutes of running. So if you try to put too much in, you'll get the opposite effect that you're going for, because your body will probably crash and become sluggish while it's trying to process this overabundance of sugar that you just gave it. So try to keep it to the indications on the package. That's very important if you want these to work well. There are instances where if your system doesn't do well with taking a full packet, I would suggest that you, in your training, not on race day, you try to take just a little bit at a time. Instead of taking the whole packet at the 45 minutes, take a little bit, run for about 10-15 minutes, take a little more, and it might help your stomach to ease into it, and then it might work better for you. So that's the only time I would go against the indications. I wouldn't take more than is indicated, but sometimes you might need to slow down taking it depending on how your body and your tummy does with these things. And be sure not to exceed 2 per hour. Like I said, if you're following the indications, you won't reach that. But if you don't feel like it's kicking in fast enough, because some kick in faster than others and some do better, that's another reason why I stress that you do this during your training, because you will find what works for you. All of these gels, you'll see when I go through them, they have different ingredients, they have different stuff, and your body will need different stuff for different things. These are not universal. So be sure that you read the instructions and then adjust accordingly, but don't take more than don't take it more often or more of the gel than is indicated on the package. Like I said, you'll end up with a belly full of gel and it will actually be making you crash instead of helping you get energy, and you don't want that to happen. We don't want you to be sick, and we don't want you to be uncomfortable while you're running. These are supposed to help and enhance your run, not make it worse. So I can't stress that enough. And really, whether you want to take gels or chomps or beans, It really just depends on your personal preference and the way that your body works with it. I don't think any are better than the other. I have my ones that I go with, and I'll talk about those when I go through them. Because of course, if I'm gonna give you this advice, I'm gonna tell you what I use. But it's what's good for me. A lot of these that I'm doing today, I've never tried before. So I'm thinking now that I have them, I'm going to try them in some training runs and see. It might be something that works better than what I have, but what I have is great. So I usually don't mess with it if it ain't broke. So we'll see how that goes. One of the most important rules with these gels is that you take them before you need them. And that is why staying on a timetable is good, because you be like, I feel good, I don't need another gel. And then you don't want to get to the point to where you're crashing or hitting a wall before you take these. So be sure to follow the indications, take them on schedule. You will do your body better. Even in your training when you're using them, take them on schedule and make sure that your body will already have them when it needs it. And again, I'm going to say it again, take them with water. You risk dehydration if you don't. I know I already said that point, but it's very important, because up until I was doing this video, I've taken goos, but I honestly did not realize how important the water factor is. I usually take them when I am going through a water station, probably about the 7-mile mark for me during my half marathon. It's usually around the 6-7 mile mark. Wherever they have a water station in that range is where I usually take my goo. And I take it with water, but I am not sure, thinking back, if I ever took it with Gatorade, because sometimes I'll get both water and Gatorade at a water station, and I don't know. And that might explain some of, if I had a bad second half of a run, I can't really remember and recall and pinpoint a moment where that might have affected me adversely, but it could have, because I didn't understand the fact that I needed to take pure water with these. So in the future, that's what I will make sure I do. And so I can make sure that I am using them most effectively. And if you haven't already and you're enjoying this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you don't already subscribe to this channel, and give it a like. I really appreciate it. And comment below and let me know what you think.